Talk to me about decision making.
So I have seen that one good framework of decision making is talking to champions of that field of decision making. For example, um, I don't know how to make uh, somebody who has more choices usually has ability to make better decisions than people who have lesser choices. Let me explain what I mean by that. A person who's less person who's likely to be able to get anybody to marry them, and they have the ability to do that, are likely to be better at taking decisions on how to marry somebody right. And it sounds weird, but choices just make them better, right? Or an investor that can invest in any company is likely to become better on how to pick companies, right? So I think the expertise of decision making is usually in people who have more choices than others. In fact, according to me, the simplest definition of success is also about having more choices than other people in that respective field that you think about. And I think that usually does not fail. But uh, I believe that a lot of people are taking decisions through emotion, which is a hit or miss thing. But uh, problems to solve are, or to feel, are through emotions, right? So for example, a lot of times founders are like parents who sometimes just know intuitively something is wrong with their kid or their startup or their company, but emotions are not good enough to solve the problem, but they are very good at knowing intuitively something is off. And you, like, even doctors will struggle when a mother feels something about the kid, and like they're like, we can't find something, and then something is off, and they just feel it. And it's a great place to find something to be fixed, not a great tool to use how to fix, because emotions will make you do stupid decisions on how to solve that problem, and you'll overcorrect or over destruct in trying to solve that problem if you use emotions to do that. So I think using emotions to using emotions to detect symptoms is great. Using emotions to solve or make decisions is terrible. In terms of uh, uh, everybody has different framework. I know about the Bezos framework of regret minimization framework, and you can talk about many of these things. I think a lot of times having just a long term mindset around decisions, even if it's short term decisions, is useful. So I've seen that some people are naturally good at long term decisions than many people who are very good at short term decisions, right? So I think using a lot of those people as APIs in your life for long term decisions is a good framework. And we, all of us, know some people who are very good at long term decisions, and they think 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years, 100 years uh, on everything, right? For example, I've always told people that uh, all bad behavior is rooted in short term thinking. Every bad behavior in human beings comes from being short term about everything, right? And I think if you play a long enough game, it doesn't seem like a bad thing. And I think therefore uh, it's not natural for humans to think 30 years out, and therefore people do stupid things with their reputation or their trust with people or all of that, because they don't think it matters 10 years later. uh, and But if you do grow your reputation slowly, it gives you huge powers later on, because compounds quickly. In fact, I remember uh, this beautiful quote. One of our investors told me that, no, Kunal, reputation is a bank account where you can only deposit $1 a day, but every time the withdrawal is almost nearly complete. So if you make a mistake on your reputation, the withdrawal will be complete. But in terms of deposit, you can only almost deposit $1 a day. You can't hack reputation. In fact, everybody who tries to hack a reputation is penalized badly by the society, and they get corrected quickly. But slow reputation usually gives you more currency to outlast. And I think when it comes to decision making, like thinking about what is the slow currency of life, reputation, wealth, all of that, like don't try to hack it. Anybody who's trying to hack it will always lose it quickly, because uh, they'll not have the muscle to retain it. For example, a lot of people who get rich quickly without really building substance are exactly the people who get to play advanced sport without building the muscle for it, and they get injured because they have not built the muscle to handle that. So uh, I do believe that some people are just naturally good at judgment, uh, and the reason they are very good at that because they love to be right a lot. And I think uh, I'm sure you had talked about this concept of decision journals and all of that. But the thing is that intuitively, people who are very good at decision making are constantly journaling without even sometimes not writing, but constantly evaluating everything that they did in the past objectively without feeling emotional about it, and constantly reflecting on it and improving their algorithm, right? And I think uh, in terms of decision making, uh, there is this thing that you say, what would Steve do and what would Bezos do, what would this do, actually sounds stupid, but it's not. Or what would Jesus do, right? These are good frameworks to say that let me try to think like them and see if they would do it or not. And I think sometimes just creating this mimicry of sorts uh, would be very powerful. That would this person do this, what this, and I think the only good use of reading a autobiography or biography is to be able to answer this question, that would Elon do this, would Steve do this.